Hey everybody, stick around because we have got a monumental episode and I think it's going to be super cool. So hang out with us, we're going to go camping. Thanks for clicking on this video. In the last 2 weeks, something really cool has happened with the channel here. One of my videos that I posted about 3 months ago and kind of floundered for a little while, but all of a sudden it has caught fire. For whatever reason, the video that I made about the Coleman 4-in-1 cooking system has gone semi-viral. It went from having only a couple of hundred views to, at the time of this recording, it's closing in on 40,000 views. Along with that 40,000 views has come a skyrocket in subscribers to this channel. For a long time, we floated around 400 subscribers. In the last 2 weeks, we have shot past 1,500 subscribers. If you are a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for giving me a chance. If you've been with me from the beginning, thanks for your loyalty. It's truly appreciated. So not only to celebrate 1,000 subscribers, but to celebrate shooting right past 1,500 subscribers, we're gonna do this super cool camping trip. What we're doing this weekend, I am at Meeman Shelby Forest State Park just outside of Memphis, Tennessee. I'm at one of the primitive campsites, which means there's no power, there's no water, there's nothing here. So everything I've got, I had to bring in with me. All I'm camping with this weekend is Amazon returned items. Items that I picked up at the bin store. If you aren't familiar with the concept of the bin store, I've got a video about that and I'll put a link down below. You can go check it out and see what it's all about. I've had several people ask me if I would do like a bargain style camping trip, you know, maybe one of those Walmart specials or something. And those have been done a lot. And while they're a lot of fun, I have a couple of issues with them. One of them being, I don't like going and buying gear that I've already got just so that I can go do a single camping trip. I also don't like the idea of buying disposable gear and then just turning around throwing it away when I'm done. My budget doesn't really allow me for that kind of extravagance just yet. We'll see where this channel is going to go though. Well, I promise you this, no matter what happens here, if this channel becomes monetized and it starts to bring in a little bit of income, I am not going to become a wasteful person just for the sake of doing it. You're still going to see the same guy here doing these videos, camping out with you and showing you gear that you can afford. But with all that being said, I'm going to shut up now and I'm going to try to keep the chatter in this video as minimal as possible, but I'm going to start setting up. Now remember, every piece of gear you're going to see in this video, I picked up at the Amazon Returns bin store. Now, it took me about 4 months to accumulate all this stuff, but during that process, I've gotten some really cool items. Some of them you've seen before, some of them you're going to be seeing today for the very first time. So stick around with me and let's have some fun camping. There it goes. I do want to cut in for just a minute and mention a couple of things. One thing that you may see in the video that was not purchased at the bin store is this little butane stove. I brought this along for one, in case I had any issues trying to get a fire started, but also when I get up in the morning and cook breakfast, I don't want to have to start another fire just to make breakfast. So I brought this along. Now, yeah, it was not at a bin store. Technically it's cheating, but it was a freebie. It was given to me. But I didn't want anybody to spot that in the background or see me cooking on it and start calling me out and acting like I'm cheating. I did want to mention that. Another thing is, I have to take a second for a little shout out and a giant thank you. This afternoon, when I got home, before I came up here to camp, there was a package waiting at my door. Now, for a few months now, I've been talking about my Amazon wish list that I always put down in the description box. In that list, there's a few items of varying values that if you wanted to help out the channel and send me something either to review or just something to help along the adventures, those items are there for you to choose from. I didn't want this channel to become something where I had a Patreon and was expecting everybody to go give me a bunch of money every month. But this is one of those things where if you get a hankering to do it, you can. And if you don't, it's fine. But today I got home and there was a package by the door and it had Dad Budget Adventures on it, and I'm always excited when I see that. I've had a few of these along the way, and today was no exception to how much joy it brought me to see that name on that package from Amazon. The item in the box, now of course this is not something I bought at the bin store, but I did want to show this and give this shout out in this video. So what I received today was a Silky Gomboy folding saw. I've been wanting one of these for a while, hadn't broken down to spend the money on it. It's something that I think every camper would benefit from owning. It's a great product, it gets great reviews. I've seen a lot of videos of people using them. That's what was waiting for me on my porch in the package. I'm gonna open this thing up real quick. How cool is that thing? That is seriously awesome. It came with a note, and I hope that this is okay with the gentleman that sent it to me. As much as I appreciate it, I do want people to know that this came from him. It says, "A gift for you from one dad to another. Hope you enjoy the saw. From James W. Seeley II of Falkville, Alabama." James W. Seeley, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. If anybody else wants to go check out the Amazon wish list and send me something, feel free to do so. But like I said, if you don't, it's not a big deal. It's just there. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, tell all your friends about this. It's not the gourmet camp food that Mr. Fish and I often make in these videos. But for a simple overnight camp, that's pretty good. I like this little mess kit. It's very easy to use. Hopefully it'll be easy to clean up. All right, so dinner's done, and now I'm just kind of sitting by the fire, enjoying this lovely evening. It's a little on the warm side. The heat has finally emerged. We had a few days of cold weather this week, and warm weather came on with a vengeance. It's pretty warm tonight. And with that comes the mosquitoes. One of the things that makes the Meeman Shelby Forest State Park less than perfect is the bugs here are horrible. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's proximity to the Mississippi River or if there's just a lot of swampiness around here, but every time I've been here, the bugs have been just off the chart. And it really takes away from the ability to enjoy the environment here. Fortunately, it's been wet, which means that all the wood is wet, so it's putting off a lot of smoke, which is helping a little bit with the mosquitoes. But I have a feeling it's going to be an early night because I'm not going to want to sit out here swatting bugs much longer. So I figure I'll probably go crawl into the hammock here in a bit and make it an early night, and then try to make it an early morning tomorrow to maybe enjoy when the mosquitoes aren't quite so bad. So I hope you're enjoying this little camp out, and I'd love to hear what is your favorite piece of equipment that I found at the bin store that I brought along on this camping trip. So let me know in the comments down below which item that you saw in the video is your favorite, or if you have questions about the items, ask me. I'll answer as best as I can. But for now, I'm going to enjoy a little bit more by the fire, and then I'm going to go crawl up in that hammock on the other side of the mosquito net and get out of these bugs. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there is something really, really big walking very close to my camp. I don't know what that was, but that freaked me out just a little bit. I mean, whatever it was huge. I'm guessing it's probably a rather large deer, or maybe a couple of them. But I was sitting here and I could hear movement in the trees, and it was moving off to the side, and it got directly behind where I was sitting and started very quickly advancing toward my position. And I figured it wouldn't come very close because I'm sitting right by the fire, but it kept getting closer and kept getting closer. And then it started moving toward the far side of my camp. And then it doubled back, came back all the way around, and went not far from where the hammock is hanging, and then disappeared off in the woods over to the other side. So, guessing it was a deer. Unfortunately, I did have a flashlight. There's a flashlight that came in the little survival kit that I got some of my fire starting gear out of. The flashlight is way over there on the other side of the hammock. I didn't want to be jumping up to try to get that while this thing was like tromping up in my camp, but yeah, that was a little freaky. It's one of the downsides to solo camping. Everything is exponentially spookier when it happens. It is officially that time of the day. I just crawled into the hammock. I've never slept in a hammock before, so this is going to be a bit of an experiment. Y'all saw the setup when I put it together. I opted not to put the tarp over. I do have a tarp for it that I picked up at the bin store, of course. As warm as it is tonight, I decided to leave that off. There's not supposed to be any rain. We'll see later on if I regret that decision. I did decide to put the underquilt in simply because it's going to drop down about 60 tonight. And if it does start to get a little bit cold, I didn't want all my body heat going out that way. So I'm about to turn in, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. It is a bright and crisp morning here at Meeman Shelby Forest State Park. I had a very comfortable night's sleep last night. I was really surprised at how comfortable that hammock is. Having never done hammock camping before, I was a little concerned that it could be uncomfortable, but honestly, I toss and turn a lot when I sleep, and I woke up in the same position I went to sleep in, and I found it surprisingly relaxing. I'm glad I chose to go with the underquilt because in the middle of the night it started getting a little on the chilly side, but between the underquilt and that down under camping blanket, it was perfect. I had no problems at all. Went to sleep under the stars last night and woke up this morning with the sun coming out. And there's no experience like being able to lie down and look straight up at the sky when you're going to sleep and when you're waking up. Fortunately, it didn't rain, but it did allow for me to have that experience. So I woke up this morning, put on a pot of coffee, and I'm going to sit here for a few minutes and enjoy the morning and make some breakfast here in a bit and then start packing things up. So that about wraps up this little excursion. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. It was really cool being able to come out with some of the gear that I picked up at the bin store and try it all out and see if I could do a survivable camping trip with just that stuff. The really amazing thing was that every single item worked as it was intended. I did not have a single problem. I kind of half expected to get here and find things that were either missing parts or maybe had broken or had a hole in them or something. Didn't have any issues. This morning I woke up and had a really hard time getting out of the hammock because I was looking at the mosquito netting and seeing all of those mosquitoes that were hanging out outside just waiting for me to emerge from behind that. And I had a completely bug-free night, which was totally cool given the amount of mosquitoes that I've had to deal with on this trip. I think my favorite item personally was that little camp chair from iClimb. I spent a bunch of time in it, and let me tell you something, there is nothing worse than getting to the campsite and realizing you don't have a comfortable place to sit. I like to be able to sit back and rest my back against something. Yeah, I could sit on a log and then probably within 15 or 20 minutes, I'm gonna be griping about my butt hurting or about back pain. That chair has been an absolute treasure. I love that thing. That's gonna be a permanent part of my kit, taking on any trips where I'm backpacking. It's not ultra light, but it's also not terribly heavy. I would sacrifice weight somewhere else in order to take that chair on a camping trip. But that's gonna wrap up this video. And if you got something out of this, don't hesitate to leave me a comment. Share this video with your friends. Let's help the channel grow a little bit more. Thank you again to everybody who has come on board in the last couple of weeks and helped us get past 1,500 subscribers. This has been amazing. I always hoped it would happen. And by the way, those of you that left these super positive and super supportive comments on the Coleman 4-in-1 video, thank you so much. It's so great to hear people talk about how much they enjoy watching my videos. That keeps me doing this. I would probably still be doing this anyway just because I enjoy being outside and I like documenting the kind of things that I'm doing. But those comments mean everything in the world to me. Thank you so much. But I'm going to sign off for that. My ride should be here to pick me up in the next few minutes. And until the next time, prepare for the world that you live in, not the one you wish existed. See you next go round.